Okay, so I've got my frame coated with a encapsulator. That encapsulator was a product that's called Rust Bond. So it's one word, Rust Bond. And when you paint it on, it's actually 3-part mixture, 2 equal parts of A and B, and then a hardener, which is just a small little additive to it, kind of like you would with the Bondo. Once you have a plot of Bondo down, you put a little bit of hardener down there and you mix it up, kind of the same way. Not a whole bunch of hardener, just a little few drops. Depending on how much. I mixed up about way too much for this window frame. And over the top of this, I have epoxy primer. It's going to need some body work. That might get you a closer look at the frame there. But what I ended up doing was sealing this off, encapsulating it. I mean, I did pull a lot of rust off of this thing. And the way that I pulled the rust off was with, that friggin' acid. They put the stuff you put in pools, muriatic acid. I soaked this multiple times and it kept lifting the rust off to where I never had to grind it. But once I neutralized it with water, then I took a wire brush to it and knocked it down to bright metal. And then that's when I added the Rust Bond. I mean, there's different brands of encapsulator. This is a commercial grade. I got some from some painters from where I work. It's near the ocean, so there's a lot of rust there that they have to cover up. So anyway, it's been encapsulated. I've got this prepped. The frame is fitting in nicely. It's actually falling into place, which is nice. Gives me a little bit of room to work with. You can probably see that up and down action going there. That edge is not tight. The frame, it's not pulled down tight. I'd like to get the window installed, the windshield glass, and then after it's installed, then I'll finish up my body work. And then I can set the window frame in here, and possibly even before I do the body work, I'll set it with that urethane and clamp it in place. What's the use of doing body work if you're going to put a clamp on it? So I'll probably just clamp it in place, set it, get it everything set right, glued in, and then I'll just go from there. And yeah, it kind of sucks to have to do body work, but hey, it's no different than having to do it anywhere on this car. It's no perfect. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do it on a table, but oh well. But yeah, moving forward with that. So this has got the 3-part Rust Bond that has been laid on here all the way around, underneath, over, under, back and forth, down, inside. So you can see it's a green color, and it's gonna harden with a sheet of it's almost like glass. So that's what I'm going to put on first, right? And then I will hit it with some epoxy primer, and then after epoxy primer I will do my body filler over that. Now this is my windshield frame. Yeah, so I've put the rust bond on here. You can see a lot of the imperfections in the metal. So what I'm going to try to do right now is I've hit this with the 100 grit, and I'm going to see if I can plow those down a little bit and even them out, see what happens. Yeah, you can see a lot of the divots in the metal where this rust bond, now when you run your finger over it, it feels as smooth as glass. So yeah, it's a product made by Carbonate, I believe. And this product here is called Rust Bond, one word. All right, I'm going to get to sanding on it and flatten it out. Little bit better of what you can see of all the little islands, or whatever you want to call divots, after I've sanded a little bit on it. So I'll sand it some more and see what happens. Well, one of the projects that I've got coming up is running the fuel lines. I've got my fuel module here with my in-tank fuel pump with my Dash 6 return and supply. And I want to come out of here with a 90 that's going to drop straight down and go through the bottom of the floor of the trunk. And then I want to run from there with possibly 90 clocked to where I can swoop it down and run it across my frame. And then once I get to the firewall, then I'll have my fuel pressure regulator here. So this will be in this fashion. And so I'll have my Dash 6 fittings coming out of here. And then that will go onto the firewall and then up to the throttle bodies that I have. So I'm going to use PTFE hose. So I'll be getting some 90s and some of that hose. I'm roughly about 20 feet. I think it's about from the firewall up here. It's like 10 feet, I think, if I measured it out correctly. But let me get you over here and take a peek at my throttle body setup. So this is a setup that I'd like to run. Obviously these are the Holley Sniper EFI throttle bodies. I went with the black motif because I'm going to have this body will probably be black. And so going with a lot of black. Black and red. So these here are stainless steel 6-inch pipe, right? Schedule 40. So I've got that high rise. So yeah, this here, so obviously I'm going to be carving this down. So this will sit down inside of it. I know I've changed my mind. I can get some filter socks that can go in here. I've got an idea how to secure it. This is out of a turboprop jet engine. This is a fuel air mixing chamber. It's the metal that it's a metal they call Inconel, a super alloy. They have 6 of these inside of an Allison, I think it is, turboprop jet engine. A lot of these, they've used these in C-130s. There's multiple military planes they use them in. Out at work, we have a power plant that we help supply missions for the Air Force. And there's 5 of these engines inside of the power plant that spin a turbine and create power for the sites when they're doing an operation. So there's 6 of these inside of one engine, and it's a fuel air mixing chamber. And obviously, this is the side that's blowing towards the right towards the exiting the part of the engine. But I'm not going to polish this. I like the color that it is, but it is a metal with stainless. There's a couple of different. It can take extreme heat without changing. Corrosion and there's another one, corrosion and anyway, it's used in the plane, commercial plane industry and space. This metal Inconel is used because of the extreme temperatures that it can handle. But looks pretty cool. It's quite the top on any any high rise, man. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's either Star Warsy looking here or like a big grandpa catfish sitting at the bottom of the lake just waiting for something to come by and eat. Pretty good look. So what I'll end up doing is modifying this portion here for this to fit down inside of it. Okay, so that's where we're headed. We're headed with an EFI. I've got a 383 stroker motor that is in the process. I've done the work to mill the cylinder walls down for the crank to fit with the stroke. I do not have the upper end. I don't have the cam or the lifters yet. So it's going to be a little time before I actually get the engine rebuilt. But that's about the only thing that I'm lacking is the cam. I've got the heads. I need springs and lifters and push rods. Just haven't gotten to that point. Obviously, there's other things that I've got to do before I actually have a rebuilt engine. Rebuilding the engine and letting it sit. What do? Rebuild it, let it sit, or finish it up and rebuild the engine, put it in. So, one or the other. But before we go, I'll give you guys a buzz around this thing, and we'll end it, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.